for a good believer leaving this world, death is relief, is not painful at all. Death is a relief. This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in one hadith, al-mawtu tuhfatul mu'min. Death is a treasure for the believer. Tuhfa is something that is rare, a piece of antiquity, for example, a very expensive gift that you honor in your home. That is death. For the believer, death is a treasure because it brings you sooner than expected the rewards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised you for your good works. That is the beauty of it. Until what time? Until what time? Until what time? You know that Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu used to say, غَدًا أَلْقَى الْأَحِبَّةِ مُحَمَّدًا وَصَحْبَهَ غَدًا أَلْقَى الْأَحِبَّةِ Tomorrow I'm meeting the beloved ones, Muhammad and his companions. Tomorrow I'm meeting the beloved ones, Muhammad and his companions. غَدًا أَلْقَى الْأَحِبَّةِ مُحَمَّدًا وَصَحْبَهَ Happy, rushing to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of what he prepared and being sure of what he's going to meet on the day of judgment. Others, they run away from death. There is nothing to protect you from death. This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says in a beautiful hadith also describing this life and the end of it, hadith in Sahih al-Imam Muslim, الدنيا سجن المؤمن وجنة الكافر. Dunya is a prison for the believer and a piece of garden for the unbeliever. This hadith, 2 words describing this dunya for the believers and for the unbelievers in 2 words. But look how eloquent the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam was in putting a concrete example in front of us. For the believers in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this dunya is a prison. So don't look for your pleasures on the face of the earth. If you are a true believer in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your real pleasures are not on the face of the earth. They are in the hereafter. Ad-dunya is not for us, believers. Al-akhirah is for us. أَمَا تَرْضَوْنَ أَن تَكُونَ لَهُمُ الدُّنْيَا وَلَنَا الْآخِرَةِ Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, aren't you happy that they take the dunya and we take the akhirah? Look at this beauty. As a believer in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you should know that this dunya does not belong to you and you do not belong to it. Dunya is for the unbelievers and for the unrighteous people who want to enjoy all the pleasures of this life. For us, وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى And the hereafter, وَلَلْآخِرَةُ is better for you than what comes first, the first life. The Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, we know how much he suffered while conveying the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressed him, وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى The akhirah is better for you than the first. But this addresses every one of us. Every one of us. This is why ad-dunya for the believers is like a prison. But unfortunately, we think wrongly that in this prison we're given so many choices of meals, comfortable dungeons and cells, and we're served. So we think that it's very comfortable. It's a prison. The example of dunya is like the example of democracy also. Like in the USA, democracy, people think we have a choice. We have a democratic system. We can choose. Our president is like a prisoner choosing between 2 meals. But if he opts for a 3rd meal, there's no choice for a 3rd meal. He can't get a 3rd meal. Either this or this. That is democracy. The same also in this life. We think we have the choice to get whatever we want. But actually it's a prison. And the walls are far away from us. We don't see them. Ad-dunya sijnul mu'min. It is Jannah for the unbelievers.
لا يا لطيف يا لطيف لك اللطف فأنت لطيف ومنك يشملنا اللطف لطيف لطيف إنما متوسل